I'm Grant Marshall. Welcome to the 2020 News Podcast for the week of June 16, 2025, where we look back at the week's stories you need to know. 2020 News. Still more journalism than your cousin's conspiracy podcast. Let's get to it. Busted at Big Box. From Walmart to Walgreens, America's aisle assassins are getting bagged and tagged. In a coast-to-coast retail raid, cops corralled over 400 sticky-fingered suspects swiping from shelves at Target, CVS, Home Depot, and beyond. This $3 billion booty-busting blitz spanned 28 states and left shoplifters stunned, shackled, and shopping for bail. No coupons, no clemency, no more five-finger discounts, and no aisle left unguarded. Body parts in a bridge bag. A brutal Brit butcher's been busted for allegedly axing and ice packing a West London couple, then trimming, tossing, and traipsing their frozen flesh across the country. Cops claim a 35-year-old Colombian man was chasing cash and chose to carve up the clients when the digits didn't deliver. The remains were found near the Clifton Suspension Bridge, zipped up and zip-tied. And if the freezer fits, he's got more than frostbite and felonies to fear. Man smites dog. Dog slay afternoon in Cincinnati, where a trip to the vet to euthanize a poor old pooch named Tinkerbell turns into a twisted tale of tight-fisted torture. Deputies declare a dog owner decided to put down his dear old doggy, but howled at the price of $500, barking it was highway robbery. That's when cops say Peter Pan strangled Tinkerbell himself, leaving her lifeless. Defendant's dog's worst friend, free on bond. Back home, where a sign by his fence reads, "Spoiled dogs live here." BMW bust up in the boroughs. A bold band of car bandits bit off more than they could boost when an NYPD officer caught him mid-mischief in a Queens BMW burglary blitz. A barrage of bullets flew as the cop confronted the crew cranking open costly coupes, turning the high-end heist into a high-stakes shootout. No injuries, but plenty of panicked perps, and a pricey pile of precision German engineering left peppered with panic. A day at the breach, a sandstorm of stupidity and savagery as senior student skip day on Long Island becomes a combat scene out of the longest fray. Hundreds of hell-raising kids from the island and the city swarmed Jones Beach, engaging in hand-to-band combat. It was cabana bananas and kick-ass karate as packs of punks prompted police to storm the Strand, even calling in a copper chopper to buzz the beach bums. Welcome to the clash of 2025-0. From the jaws of the heat, swimming with sharks. Not such a fishy fate after all, for a duo of dunder-headed divers off the coast of Florida. Chum and Chum are set free. 19 sharks from a long line they thought was illegal, but quickly got tangled up in a legal net when they learned the rig belonged to a fisherman licensed to do research. Guilty, the court said, but the guy in the White House, who just happens to like watching Shark Week, said pardon that pair. The now flabbergasted former felons say they never even cast their wishing rod in hopes of getting the big fish to cut bait on their sentence. Proud Boys pout. 5 frustrated felons from the far-right flop squad are suing the feds, saying their January 6th convictions are just a DOJ doozy. The jailed January 6th jackals claim their prosecution was political payback, not justice. But the Department of Justice? Deadpan. They say the law applies to everyone, even cosplay commandos with zip ties and delusions of grandeur. Justice may be blind, but it ain't stupid. McMurder in the drive-thru. A Houston Happy Meal turned homicidal when a McDonald's worker blew his stack and blew away his boss. Cops say the 22-year-old employee ended an argument the old-fashioned way, with a bullet. It's the latest in a string of fast food fury, where tempers run hotter than the fryers and conflict resolution comes with a side of carnage. Now the arches are tarnished, the suspects in custody, and the manager at the big McDonald's in the sky. Field of schemes. A sneaker slinker has been busted for breaking into ballers' homes and living like a lineup legend. Cops cuffed the 21-year-old Seattle man, accusing him of looting luxury cribs owned by Mariners and Seahawks stars. Prosecutors say he pinched Rolexes, rare kicks, and even a player's playbook because fantasy football wasn't cutting it. Now the only team he's playing for is the Department of Corrections, and the only thing he fielded was a felony. Grenade goofball goes boom. A deranged driver in Southern California lobbed a live grenade at deputies during a hairpin pursuit. Yes, a real one. The lunatic launched the lethal lump out his window like it was Mario Kart. Cops dodged the blast, cuffed the clown, and now he's booked on bomb charges and beyond. Guess he thought blowing past police meant literally. Touched by a stranger. A Queens creeper cooked up a skin-crawling scam, telling women they had spiders on them, then grabbing their goodies in a grope and go. The bug-eyed bozo vanished after fondling 2 victims on 63rd Drive. Cops are calling it a juvenile trick with perv-level intent. From pest control to chest patrol, this guy needs an exterminator and a prison cell. Clean up on aisle poo. An Australia grocery run turned into a poo-slicked pratfall when a shopper slipped in toddler droppings at a supermarket in Geelong. Covered in kitty caboose cargo, she was left injured, humiliated, and fighting for compensation. And the staff, they reportedly rolled a cart through the mess like it was part of the mop crew. The store offered her $200. She's demanding more for the dump disaster. This is what happens when aisle duty turns into diaper duty. Googled then gone. A once doting dad turned cold-blooded camper, now the target of a nationwide manhunt. A Washington state survivalist is suspected of slaying his 3 young daughters, then bolting into the backwoods with a backpack full of gear and a browser full of getaway plans. Cops clocked Google searches like how to flee to Canada and jobs in the Yukon just days before the murders. He wanted a job in Canada? Good news. Prison labor's still a thing up there. Ship-faced. This ship is on fire in the Bronx, and the captain's in hot water. His vessel as overloaded as he was, cops say. More than 20 partiers swimming for their lives as the boat burned. Most of the panicked passengers paddled to nearby Hart Island, which serves as a gargantuan graveyard for more than 1 million unclaimed, unidentified, and indigent souls. Coast Guard and fire rescue saved all, but the skipper was stinko, coppers claim, and is now cooling off in custody. Who let the wiener dog out? Anthony Weiner, a.k.a. Carlos Danger, is running for New York City Council. No joke, the former congressman's pressing the flesh again, going door to door this time, after losing his seat and spending time in jail. Can the now registered sex offender cut the mustard? A wire service story finds many don't care about Weiner's past junk, and campaign donations are coming in, hand over fist. Anybody want a wiener? That's what's happening for the week of June 16, 2025. You can catch our daily reports Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And our weekend roundup wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like, follow, and share, and hit the bell to stay informed when new episodes drop. I'm Grant Marshall, 2020 News. Real stories, real fun.